Hereby call the Iberia Parish Council meeting April 11th, 6 p.m. To order. Mr. Napier with the prayer.
Wait, recorder's not coming on.
Wait just a second. We can't get the recording started.
Shut it off and restart it.
Can we do the prayer? Are we doing that?
If you want to, we'll do it live.
That's good. Okay, Mr. Napier.
In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Lord, may your goodness and love be present among us today. Thank you for bringing us together. Come bless our gathering with unity, hope, and vision. Lord, we pray for unity. Build in us all a deep respect for one another so that we may be one. Lord, we pray for hope. Come stir your hope within our hearts and renew our faith. Lord, we pray for vision. May your vision fill our lives as we seek to do your will and reveal your love. Let's also pray today for our troops, our veterans, and our active members of the military, the ones fighting for us abroad and here at home. We ask this in your glorious name, Jesus. Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would just be 1 second. We got technical difficulties. What's our options?
And I have a recording audio line.
You don't have to record, but I don't know. I don't have a recording of the main one. I just won't have it recorded for you. Unless we take away the
Okay, let's do that. You ready for roll call? Roll call.
Tommy Pollard. Here. Michael Landry. Here. Tommy Landry. Lloyd Brown. Warren Goshsang. Here. Natalie Broussard.
Here.
Paul Landry.
Here.
Ricky Gosselin.
Here.
Joe Dugas. Here. Eugene Olivier.
Here.
Brian Napier.
Here.
Berwick Francis. Here. Marty Trahan.
Here.
Give me a motion.
Chad Matchman.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. I have a motion by Mr. Gonsalves, a second by Ms. Broussard to go into public comments. Roll call. And motion passes. We're now in public comments. Item number 1, comments from the general public on non-agenda items. Do we have anybody? For that one? Okay, we have no one. Item number 2, comments from the general public on agenda items. Has anybody turned in a paper that would like to speak on any of the agenda items? Seeing none, I need a motion to go back into regular session. Have a motion by Mr. Gonsalves, a second by Ms. Broussard. Reports in finance and roll call. And motion passes. Reports, finance, and administration action. Number 1, balance sheets for February 2018 on request. Item number 2, budget reports for February 2018 on request. Reports, parish and other governmental agencies. Item number 1, building permit reports for the month of March 2018. That was in your packets. Public Works reports. Number 1, Public Works Department report for closed work orders dated March 19th to the 23rd and the 25th to the 31st of 2018. That was in your package. Special business, there is none. Council member announcements. Anybody? Mr. Garsha? Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just like to congratulate the Committee of Books Along the Tesh Literacy Festival this past weekend. They had a phenomenal turnout. A lot of people enjoyed it. And just for the record, I'd like to just say that I did not come out last in Boo-Ray, and I beat Marty Trahan. FYI. Thank you.
Mr. Olivier?
I'd like to mention that on Tuesday, I went to a millage workshop in Baton Rouge, and just want to inform the council that they may want to consider going to the millage shop next year, because it looks like there may be a few changes in the millage's procedures on next year's millage workshop. Thank you.
Is it Michael Landry?
Yes, I just want to announce that St. Francis Dine is having a fundraiser Sunday, barbecue dinners. The Knights of St. Peter Claver Council 63 will be out Saturday night from about 9 until barbecue. So anybody want to come help, come help. And anybody want to spend some money and go buy some dinners, go buy it Sunday morning.
Mr. Gonsalam?
Yeah, just to reiterate Mike, and some very good barbecue at that. I buy them every year. Great job by that crew. Just wanted to reiterate, they had the Literary Festival, but they also had the Al Broussard Memorial Festival in Lowerville. I attended that, and it was a very good turnout, well planned, and kudos to those guys that volunteered and set that up.
Mr. Dugan?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also want to congratulate the village of Laurelville for winning the district's cleanest city contest. And it's my understanding they've won it like 10, 11 times. In the next few months, they'll be going on to the state contest, and they've won the state cleanest city contest. So good job there. And if y'all want to see why people in Laurelville are so happy, come by and see the clean street.
And we can spend some money? Anybody else has any comments? Okay, we'll move along to parish president's announcements. Mr. Richard?
We're moving along very well with the security project that we're starting over here. I want to introduce to you tonight the new security manager for Iberia Parish Government. His name is Darrell Manning. So he's the new employee that we have that's going to be doing security for Iberia Parish. And Darrell come to us.
I said, welcome aboard, Darrell.
Darrell come to us with some pretty good skills, so we welcome him aboard. I attended the literary festival on Saturday, and it was very well attended. We had, I think, people from 13 states there in 3 countries. It was awesome. We had a very, very good night, and this is something that that I try to attend every year. Just so you know, those of you who have never been, it is absolutely awesome. Last night, did anyone mention? Did you mention last night the deal with the Voice of Victims? No one mentioned it. Okay, last night I attended the Voice for Victims, which is a program that's put on by the District Attorney's Office for Voices of Innocent Citizens Empowered Support. It's a support group. And over there, Warren was there, Natalie was there, Paul was there, come on guys, Eugene was there, and I'm just mentioning you guys because it was a real good turnout. It was extremely good. And this is something I think that is very, very big for Iberia Parish. Last 2 weeks, work performed through Public Works. We have been cleaning some culverts in District 2, 3, 5, 8, and 13. We have some debris pickup in District 2, 9, 10, 11, 13, and 14. We did some field drainage in District 2, 9, 10, 11, 13, and 14. Roadside drainage in District 10. We've been working pretty good in District 10 for roadside drainage. Road patching work we've done over the last couple of weeks in District 2, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12, and 14. Shoulder work in District 10 and side booming work throughout the whole parish. We've been very, very busy in public works. We got a lot of slash busting work going on right now. We're cleaning some channels. So things are moving very, very good from the public works point of view. And with that said, we have a pretty long meeting tonight, so I'm not going to talk about all the things that we have, but it's my report.
Okay. Mr. Gonsalves?
Larry, is the household waste day is still scheduled? No changes? That's
Still scheduled.
Want to mention date and time?
Got it. Household Day is April the 28th. It's a parking lot where we normally have it every year. It's going to be from 8:30 to 12:30.
All right.
I'm buying breakfast. But Warren, you're giving me the money.
We said 8:30 to 12:30?
Yeah, 8:30 to 12:30.
April 28th.
Got
April
it.
28th.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
I think it's 8. And that's it, guys.
Okay, at this time, I don't want to put Mr. Manny on the spot, but Mr. Manny, could you come up and say a few words? And, we're so glad to have you on board.
Hello, once again. My name is Darrell Manning. I am not originally from New Iberia, but I've been here since getting out of the military in 1993. Spent numerous years in the military, and also I've been in law enforcement ever since then here with Iberia Parish, and a little bit of time in St. Martinville. So I should appreciate the opportunity to come aboard and help out and assist wherever I can. Not to mention, I have worked here in the courthouse doing the summer security, so I know a lot of the faces and people around. They've seen me around. I've been here for a while, so looking forward to the change and getting the courthouse on point.
Good. Thank you very much, Mr. Richard.
And he's kind of modest. He also was an E7 in the military, so he needs to say it the way it is. So,
Yeah.
at any rate, thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to consent agenda items for public hearing. Minutes, the regular meeting of February 28, 2018, published March 26, 2018. Summary number 6 to 9, introduced by the parish president. A resolution.
I'd like to pull that one from the consent agenda item, please.
Okay, I'm gonna go read them and we'll pull them after all of them.
Don't, I wouldn't read it. If you pull it, you have to read it again under.
Okay, so, okay. Is there any others that we would like pulled at this time? Do we have to vote on that?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to remove summary number 72 and summary number 74.
Okay. So we'll pull 72, 74, and 69. I'll read the rest. Summary number 70, introduced by Paul G. Landry, District 7, a resolution of condolences to the family of Miss Versailles Fletcher, grandmother of District 12 Councilmember Berwick Francis Jr., who passed away on March 25th, 2018. Summary number 71, introduced by the parish president, a resolution declaring a 2003 Jeep Liberty as surplus property and further authorizing disposal of same in accordance with parish policies and state law as requested by the Iberia Parish Coroner's Office. Number 73, introduced by the parish president, a resolution authorizing the parish president to execute any and all documents or writing deemed necessary to effect the transfer of all legal right, title, and interest in and to adjudicated properties purchased in connection with the public auction or adjoining landowner program conducted on behalf of Iberia Parish Government by Akron Information Systems, LLC, DBA Civic Source, to provide an effective date thereof and to otherwise provide a respect thereof. Summary number 75, introduced by the parish president, a resolution granting substantial completion to the Iberia Parish Courthouse second floor renovations project. All is completed by Acadian Renovations Limited and recommended by Architects Design Studio. Summary number 76, introduced by legal counsel, a resolution authorizing the parish president to execute an act of correction of quitclaim deed or other similar instrument by between the Iberia Parish Library Board and the Iberia Parish Government relative to the property located at 2306 Coteau Road, New Iberia, Louisiana, purchased by the Iberia Parish Library Board on or about July 13, 2015, from Robert J. Como Jr. and Anita F. Hebert Como to provide for the effective date thereof and otherwise to provide with the retrospect thereof. Summary number 77, introduced by legal counsel, a resolution authorizing the parish president to execute an act of sale or other similar instrument by and between Blaine Broussard and Loretta and Latchelet Broussard and Iberia Parish Government relative to the property located at 306 Ed Broussard Road, Laurelville, Louisiana, to provide for the effective date thereof and otherwise to provide with respect thereof. Okay, we need a motion by Mr. Gonsalves, a second by Mr. Olivier. Discussion? Mr. Gonsalves?
Wait.
Roll call. Okay, those items have passed. Now we'll go back to summary number 69, introduced by the parish president. We do them individually. A resolution grants a pretrial substantial completion to the Iberia Parish 2017 Bridge Replacement Project, Bull Island Road and Railroad Bridges only. All is completed by Gray Construction Corporation and as reviewed and recommended by Wayne LaBiche Engineering LLC, project engineer. I have a motion by Ms. Broussard, a second by Mr. Trahan. Ms. Broussard?
Yes, I was just curious as to why this is partial substantial completion.
Partial. Why? Because it was all, it was, right.
So it's just as to those two bridges because it was all one thing.
Right.
And do we have any information on the punch list and whether or not that's been completed?
Yes, we do have information. Herman, you want to address the punch list as far as Bull Island Road Bridge?
Bull Island Road Bridge, we had some additional culverts to
You want him at the mic?
extend on culvert at
Yes.
the bridge.
Herman, would you go to the mic? So,
I'm sorry, Herman. Yeah, can you come to the podium?
Okay. On the bridge, the completion of the project is gonna come when we go out and add a culvert at the new bridge. The way it was designed, the bridge railing, it extended into the entrance of the property next to the canal, and it's cutting 50% of the entrance to the property. So we're gonna have to extend a culvert on that entrance to give the property owner adequate, space to enter his property as he had before. And in doing that, we're gonna have to add a pipe, a culvert, a 20-foot section to the existing culvert and cover it, backfill it with dirt and add some material, hard surface, limestone. And then we have to relocate a dry hydrant for fire district.
The punch list that was attached to the recommendation for the substantial completion talks about debris removal, asphalt and concrete pavement, dressing the ditch slopes, replacement of the phone cables. That's the punch list that I'm talking about as to.
I have no idea about that. That all I know is about what we went out and inspected and what was asked of Public Works.
I mean, if, I don't know how we approve substantial completion
That was
legal
all
if,
completed,
if
Natalie.
we don't have information that the punch list has been done.
But what we're saying is that was all
The
completed.
only thing that
You-
remains is what Herman's talking about right now.
Everything else was done.
And what about everything on the, on railroad?
What is everything on railroad? What do you have on railroad? Nothing? Everything
We
is
had a little
completed.
dressing to do on one side.
That was about the only thing I know of, was a little
It's all
bit dressing to
completed.
do. According to the engineer, they went over the final
where's she getting that
completion
from?
with the contractors and
Just to
everything.
trim that
It's
bulkhead.
in our packet, it's attached to the engineer's report. I mean, it's the punch list by Wayne LaBiche, that this is what needs to be done
What's the date on that, babe?
March
Natalie?
9th.
Everything, when I went out there, everything is completed, so I don't know if this was something that was
That's a
done
month ago.
before. It's around a month ago, Natalie, so all of that, if you wanna just wait until next week to substantially complete it, you can do that.
I mean,
But all of that
I
been done.
think we need to get verification. I mean,
We can get Wayne,
that's.
we can get Wayne up in here and let Wayne explain it to you. It's not gonna hurt anything, I guess.
They
I
open.
mean,
I mean, the road-
So, I would
It's gonna delay payment.
like to
Some of-
offer
it's
a
gonna delay
motion,
payment,
a
but it-
substitute motion to table this to the
it's gonna
next
delay
meeting.
payment, But if he put it down there, she need to get an answer.
I gotta go through the list first. All right, Mr. Trahan?
Well, we went, me, Herman, Scott, and a couple of, the engineer, went to Bull Island Bridge. And exactly what Herman said is what we have
That's
to
all
do
you have to do.
to substantially complete it. All the rest of the work was done
AT&T has to,
to redo that pipe.
that's the only other
That's
thing.
about it.
Yeah.
On Bull Island Road, there's a, but if you need to
So
get it
Marty,
from
you
him-
know the wing wall power bolts were tightened?
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
I
I mean, we went through it. I mean,
went through it
we,
all.
That-
we
that's
sat
the-
down because I wasn't happy with
And
the
Darryl was
cover
there.
that we had to extend. I said, we
The
gotta.
problem is our experts said this needs to be done to comply with substantial completion, and I think we need to
agree
hear
with
from
her.
him that
If
it
he-
was
If he
done.
said it,
Go for it. It doesn't matter
if he said it, do it. Let him come back and explain it.
It's partial because
Because-
it doesn't include the other two bridges.
Right.
But they're asking us to declare Railroad and Bull Island Bridge
Substantially completed.
substantially completed.
Andy,
So,
There you go.
can't they do
I mean, I think
substantial
we need to
completion
make
even
sure.
if the
Is that it, Mr. Trahan?
That's it.
Okay, Mr. Napier?
Okay, I agree with Natalie, what she's saying, and I agree with what y'all saying, but for the taxpayers, if we're gonna do it right by the book, you know, it should come back like Natalie said. And for us to approve it, it's gotta be documented. So I second what you're saying, Natalie, that we should table it until we get that documentation. And, well, maybe Andy might correct me. I yield the floor to Andy.
Okay. Mr. Shealy?
I make him help.
Okay.
Substantial completion does not mean that everything has been complete. It means that it's been substantially complete, and as you as a contractor know, that begins the running of the lien period. So that's what's important about substantial completion is that many times, even though there's substantial completion, there is a punch list of items to be done. But you remember that on all of these contracts, you're holding back a
Money.
certain portion of the contract
fund.
to ensure that punch list items, and punch list items are different than major items. So you're holding back money to ensure that that punch list items are corrected. That's your, I understand what you're saying. How do I know and how do I protect parish government? Well, the way you protect parish government is you don't release
You don't release the
that
final
last
funds.
10%
Yeah.
of the retainage until such time as that work has been done till the punch list work has been done. So what has happened is, Mr. LaBeach has said, other than the punch list items, everything has been substantially complete. We need to start the lien periods because that's how long the longer we wait extends the period that some contractor, subcontractor, material man
Get
can
paid.
file a lien. And we're not gonna pay that 10% until all those lien delays have gone too. So I guess I just want you to understand that you will often, if not almost always, have substantial completion requests, even though there's a punch list. So anyway,
And I understand, I surely understand what you're saying, Andy.
And if I could, one other
Go ahead.
thing. Erie Parish was recently, within the last 6 months to a year, time flies when you're having fun, sent a questionnaire to every parish wanting to know about the timeliness of payments to contractors and subcontractors, because it wasn't directed to Iberia Parish, but many other parishes, contractors and subcontractors are having untenable delays in being paid. And there's going to be some legislation about that. So when you delay substantial completion, you may also be delaying a incremental payment that may be due that particular contractor. And again, I haven't been out to look at either one of the bridges, but what I understand happened is after substantial completion, after the punch list, Herman and I don't know if Michael or
I've been to both of them twice.
went and looked at it to ensure that those items had been complete.
And shouldn't we get something?
In the
just-
future, and this is a good lesson, what we might want to think about is, because it has been a whole month, is could we get some update or whatever, just from the engineer saying,
Exactly.
punch list items
That's what
1
we
through
want.
10 have now been completed or whatever,
I
and
think
that might help too, but that,
I think this was supposed to be on the last agenda, and it was moved off, and that's why you have that dated material.
That's why it's been so long. Right.
Okay, at this time, we have a motion to table by Ms. Broussard and a second by Mr. Napier. So roll call. That motion fails. So we have, that motion passes. Oh, so, that's right, the second, the table second. Okay, any further discussion? We'll go back to the original summary number 69. Roll call. That motion passes. So I'm going to jump to number 74 on the consent items, introduced by the clerk of the court, a resolution endorsing a resolution endorsing the application of Agreco LLC for the Louisiana Quality Jobs Program. Have a motion by Mr. Gonsalas. Have a second by Mr. Napier. Mr. Gonsalas?
Yeah, just quickly, Mr. Tarantino asked us to table this. The individual cannot come speak tonight on this project, but it's a little update. I went to visit the site. It's a great addition to Iberia Parish, 48 jobs. They're gonna service worldwide generators, so it's, a shot in the arm, a $1.5 million investment. So we'll hear from the gentleman when he comes up, probably next council meeting. Mr. Landry?
Okay, Mr. Napier? Any other discussion? Roll call? The table, yes.
Next council,
next-
next full council meeting. I thought I said that.
Mr. Brown? That motion passes. Now we're going to move back to summary number 72, introduced by the legal counsel, a resolution authorizing the Iberia Parish President to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement by and between Iberia Parish Government and Hospital Service District Number 1 relative to the Veterans Administrative Local Service Office and otherwise to provide with respect thereof. Have a motion by Mr. Gonsalas, a second by Mr. Napier. Mr. Gonsalas?
Yeah, I just pulled this one just so we can make a comment that just to show how the Dotry Hospital is extending its hand to the veterans. And I think it's a great deal for the hospital district to offer that service, and I'd like a unanimous second on this issue. I mean, Iberia Medical, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, the Dotry's facility.
And I think we should, if I can.
Okay, so we have a unanimous second. Roll call? Oh, go ahead, Larry, I'm sorry.
And I think it goes farther than that. The Veterans Affairs that we currently have across here it's okay, but it's not working as far as it goes for the type of handicapped veterans that we have. I guess sometime, I don't know how many months ago, when did you come to me with that? About 4 or 5 months ago. 4 or 5 months ago, Lloyd came and talked to me about the Veterans Affairs and the Veterans Building and trying to find another place. If y'all remember, at one time we was going to move it to the Roy Building, and then the Sheriff Department decided that they needed it. So then I got with Parker and started to look around to see if we can actually find a facility for Veterans Affairs. This is a Affairs. This is a very nice building, and I think it's going to work very good for the veterans that we have, for all of the different types of services that that they get from that particular thing. And some of the services, you know, you're talking about pensions and benefits and shelters and utilities and food and household supplies and job replacement and transportation. This is a big deal. So again, I appreciate Iberia Medical Center for working with us and finding such a nice place for our veterans, because believe me, they deserve it. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Gonsalas, a unanimous second. Roll call.
That's right.
Yeah, good job, Lloyd.
That's right. That's right. Good job, Lloyd.
Tommy. That motion passes. Ordinances introduced for public hearing and adoption. Summary number 4896, introduced by legal counsel. An ordinance amending chapter number 2 of the Iberia Parish Code of Compiled Ordinances to repeal and rescind sections 2-19.1 and 2-33, which sections provide regulations for insurance renewals for liability and group health insurance policies. I have a motion by Ms. Broussard, a second by Mr. Goshasan. Ms. Broussard?
Waive.
Mr. Gonsalas?
Wait,
Roll call.
Mr. Landry,
Oh, excuse, okay, let's hold up. Mr. Shealy?
I just want to make sure that everybody understands. We started off talking about repealing and rescinding that. And actually, there was some pretty good directives about seeking insurance coverage. So rather than repeal and rescind them, we simply made them advisory and urged the administration at least 45 days out to begin that information. And so that it's not binding and we don't have to waive it every time, but yet it is a good mechanism to seek that. So I just wanted to, because it doesn't actually repeal and rescind it, but just amends it, I wanted just to point that out.
Okay, thank you very much. Roll call. Tommy? That motion passes. Summary number 4897, introduced by Eugene Olivier, an ordinance amending Chapter 16 of the Iberia Parish Code of Compiled Ordinances to reduce the speed limit on Connie Rue Street from 25 miles per hour to 15 miles per hour located in District 10. I have a motion by Mr. Olivier, a second by Michael Landry. Mr. Olivier?
I'd like to table this item because legal did not have a chance to access this reduction, so let's table it to the next full council meeting.
Okay, Mr. Michael, you okay with that? Okay, we have a table on the floor. Roll call. That motion passes. Summary number 78, introduced by Paul G. Landry, District 7, a resolution declaring the intention of the Iberia Parish Council to abolish Waterworks District Number 4 and to authorize the scheduling of a public hearing and publication notice. I have a motion by Michael Landry and a second by Mr. Olivier. Mr. Landry? Mr. Olivier?
I'd like to let everyone know that the Water District did meet and they approved the resolution to dissolve the board. Unfortunately, due to funding issues, that we just couldn't make it work. Long-term plans are being developed to maybe service that area, so more information will be provided at a later date. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other comments? Roll call. That motion passes. Summary number 79, introduced by Ricky Gonsalas, District 8, a resolution amending the 2018 parish-wide drainage fund budget in the amount of $7,500 to provide a grant to the Iberia Soil and Water Conservation District, all to be funded from the fund balance previous years, and further authorizing the parish president to execute all necessary agreements, the Iberia Soil and Compensation District to provide assistance to Iberia Parish government relative to the drainage and coastal matters. Have a motion by Mr. Gonsalas, a second by Ms. Broussard. Mr. Gonsalas?
Just quickly, I think it's a great investment for a service that's provided to our public works facility locally. I think we get extremely high benefits from that service, and encourage everybody to support this.
Mr. Dugas?
Mr. Gonzalez, what they gonna use the grant for?
It's for services provided to Herman and Public Works for culvert sizing, drainage requirements for canals, and like I said at the last meeting, it's essentially a bunch of services that provide.
So how do they typically fund that?
We typically funded it, it was $9,500 in previous years, and we cut it to $4,500, then we cut it to $0, and they requested me funding back. It typically came out of royalty, and I requested not to come out of royalty, and had a legal opinion done by Mr. Sealy that most of the consultation coming from Soil and Water to Public Work was drainage related, so Mr. Sealy encouraged that we can definitely take it out of drainage.
Soil and Water Conservation is a state agency, right?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Shealy?
I was just gonna explain that this is much like the Extension Service, LSU Extension Service, in order to help keep them here and keep the information that's so important when you do drainage work. It just helps them with their overhead.
We,
Mr. Richard?
we use them a lot, Joe. In fact, they're doing a project right now in your district for Bittersweet. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but at any rate, we use them a lot. I just said. And I tell you what, the $7,500 compared to what we paying to engineers, it's unbelievable. Just that one little project we did on Jefferson Terrace, just to be able to upsize the culverts, that was like a $30,000 project, engineering. So it's very well worth it. I know.
I just wanted to make sure they weren't gonna state and mention the little fund.
Okay. Thank you, man.
All right. Mr. Trahan?
Thank you so much.
I'll iterate what Larry and him said, that we do use them a lot.
A lot.
As Public Works Chairman, I
Yeah.
talk with Ben on a weekly basis.
And not
about
only
different-
talking, he's out there on the
Yeah.
job site with us.
Yes.
You know, so
Definitely.
we use them a lot, believe me.
In fact, we
I
used
see.
them in my district a while back on.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other? Okay. Any other further discussion? Roll call? That motion passes. Summary number 80, introduced by the clerk of the council, a resolution authorizing travel expenses for blank members of the Iberia Parish Council to attend the Police Jury Association of Louisiana Annual Legislation Day to be held in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on May 2nd, 2018, in the amount of up to $95 per attendee. I have a motion by Mr. Napier, a second by Mr. Olivier. Ms. Napier?
Yeah, y'all know that some of us haven't been supporting travel for the council. But this one, it's very worthwhile. I think most of us have been, and you know that, I mean, you get to go see how things work in Baton Rouge, you get to meet our delegation, and, you know, them seeing us seeing them, it makes for a good day. I just want to make sure that $95 is just for registration, Brenda? Brenda?
I believe that is just the registration.
No travel, no meals, or nothing like that. I'm gonna support the $95 registration. I'm gonna actually pay my own way, that's just me. But I just wanted to make sure that the 95 was, and I encourage everybody to go. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Mr. Olivier?
Yeah, I agree with Brian. I like to fill in the blank with any parish council that wish to go. Okay?
Okay. Any other speakers at this time? At this time, I think we need to get a head count on who would like to be the attendees.
Any,
Correct.
regardless of the count.
Yeah, the $95 is just for the registration.
Okay. Okay.
I don't, well, we need to register that.
Okay. Okay, everybody would like to attend, let's raise your hand.
Well, she doesn't need that in the meeting, they just need to let her know.
Okay. So they'll contact you? Okay. Okay.
So she's up to 14 minutes.
Okay, so we're gonna fill it up to 14, and then everybody get in contact with Brenda. Okay, roll call. That motion passes. Summary number 81, introduced by the parish president, a resolution and amending the 2018 mosquito control drainage program, sales tax fund, and the 2018 parish-wide drainage maintenance fund budgets to provide for the annual distribution of actual surplus of funds remaining from fiscal year 2017. A motion by Mr. Brown, a second by Mr. Gonsalas. Mr. Brown?
Yes, I just want to say, this program is doing real well, because I could remember when it first started. This amount that we distributed wasn't this much, and we just need to keep this program, because I know, like in Livingston Parish, they played around with it and they wound up losing this. I'm just saying we need to keep it. All right.
Mr. Gonsalas?
I waive.
Okay, any other comments? Roll call. That motion passes. Summary number 82, introduced by the clerk of the council, a resolution accepting the resolution of Miss Mary Babineau as a member of Waterworks District Number 4 resignation, effective immediately. I have a motion by Tommy Landry, a second by Mr. Olivier. Tommy? Tommy? Wait, Mr. Olivier?
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Mary Babineau for her service to the parish and Water District 4, as well as all the other members that had previously served on the Water District. Their hard work is very much appreciated. Thank you.
Any other comments? Roll call. That motion passes. No, sir, we're gonna stay right here and we're gonna roll right into the committee meetings. We adjourn first.